In today's video, I'm going to talk about a brand new ETF that you may or may not have heard of. It's called ARKX. It's another Cathy Wood ETF that, of course, if you haven't heard of Cathy Wood is basically one of the top investors right now. She has made billions of dollars for people. So basically, she has a new ETF called ARK Space Exploration and Innovation. Basically, it's an ETF that will only hold some of the top stocks when it comes to different spacecraft style things. Let me show you. They invest in orbital aerospace companies, suborbital aerospace companies like Virgin Galactic, enabling technology companies, basically companies that will do what it says here, which is artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, materials, and energy storage. From there, aerospace beneficiary companies, for example, GPS companies, internet access companies, including agricultural and, of course, construction. I would assume that would be construction in outer space or on different planet types like Mars as well as on the moon. Imaging, drones, air taxis, which is interesting, and electric aviation vehicles. So how long has this ARKX been around for? It's actually only been around for 3 days. It's only been on the market 3 days. It's still brand new. So basically it started off basically around $20, and then the next day it was at $20.50, and now it's at $20.91. When we start looking at these different ETFs, we want to look at their growth, especially in the early days. And of course, I personally think that this ARKX is the real deal. I am going to be investing some money into it. Some of the bigger companies that it holds, and the ones that we have all heard of, is Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Nvidia. Of course, Nvidia has graphics cards and also processors that will enable people to be able to basically build different spacecraft, but also Nvidia is very, very good at graphics, which will help with 3D printing. Amazon, I'm not too sure how that's going to fit in, but Amazon is looking at starting a very similar technology as SpaceX when it comes to internet satellites. Same as Alphabet and Google. From there, Airbus is looking at doing different air taxis that are electric, which are quite interesting. Virgin Galactic, which I've done a review on before because they're doing suborbital flights. Garmin for GPSs. These are all very strong companies. The one that's kind of confusing to me, however, is off the video right now. It's number 26, and that's Netflix. You can also grab this list off of ARK's website as well, so you can check out the whole list of who they hold. We've already gone over what this company is looking to invest in, which is orbital, aerospace, suborbital, as well as enabling technologies such as processors for 3D printing, robotics, and energy storage, things like that. I would assume that Tesla would be probably in this eventually because of energy storage, because they make batteries. Also, something to keep your eye on is the MER, the cost to invest, which is 0.75%, which is quite high for an ETF, but for the ability of making money on this ETF, it's actually quite low. So how you could do the math is, if you were to invest $100, it would actually cost you 75 cents per year to invest. However, if you were to invest $1,000, it would cost you $7.50. If you were to invest $10,000, it would cost you $75. And then if you were to invest $100,000, it would cost you $750 to invest every single year. Now, you're probably saying that's a lot of money, but it's not when you look at the potential growth that the different ARK investments have, especially when it's a brand new ARK investment. Now, I did also make a video about investing into the future very recently, and when you're looking at the future, what are some of the technologies that we can look at and say, hey, that is the future? And that is lithium batteries, and just batteries in general, are going to be huge. The reason for that is not just to go into space, it's not just for electric cars. Those are two massive markets that it's going to be part of, but it's the whole environmental energy movement. When it comes to wind power, solar power, water power, whatever kind of power, it doesn't happen and doesn't work 24/7, 365 days a week. You may have a day where it just doesn't blow wind. We may have a day where the solar panels are totally caked up with snow. And when that happens, you need batteries that store power from those resources so that you can use it in times where those resources are no longer around. And that's what batteries do. That is one of the biggest things that this investment really invests into. 3D printing is another one. That's going to be huge when we start going up to the moon and Mars, but that's a 10 to 15 year look and lifespan, and that is very futuristic. But when we start looking at different aerospace technologies, as in maybe a internet satellite like Amazon, that has huge growth potential, and of course it will do something that will make myself very happy, which is to make Rogers, Bell, and Telus extremely ticked off, and of course lose money, because even though they may be big investments for most people, I really dislike how they really just react around their customers, and a lot of people in Canada hate those companies. So I'm not one of them. I actually kind of like Rogers because they've helped me out a ton. Anyways, I hope that this video has helped you look at a new type of investment. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.